here to talk about my motorcycle. This is a Yamaha Dragstar 650, as you know, and as the title suggests, should you buy one? Should you buy a Yamaha Dragstar 650? If you're looking for a custom cruiser, cheap custom cruiser, then yes, this is definitely the bike for you. It has very few cons and a lot of pros. So we're gonna talk about the con of having this bike particularly, and the cons of having a cruiser versus the pro of having this bike and the pro having this cruiser. So I'm gonna start with the problem this bike have. Now, one problem this bike had is I don't know if all Yamaha have, all Dragstar have, but I had replaced two speedometer, this one, and both speedometer broke after about the first broke at 30,000 kilometers, and the second one, which is the one I'm mounting today, broke at 50,000. I obviously bought it used, but it broke at 50,000 kilometers, and it's a pain in the ass because I don't have neither speedometer, neither I don't have any information on what speed I'm doing, or I don't have any information on how much kilometers I'm doing, so I don't have any indication if I'm running out of gas. Another problem this bike have, in my opinion, it's carburetors. This bike is a 1996 Yamaha Dragstar, and it has carburetors. The problem with carburetor is that after 10,000 kilometers or so, they try to, they are not very aligned between air and fuel mixture. So if you know how to regulate them, then you are good, but otherwise it's a pain in the ass, really big pain in the ass. Plus you have to take down, to access the carburetors, you have to take down the gas tank, so you're wasting an entire day to fix them, or you have to pay a mechanic to do so. So another big trouble with this bike. Another problem I had with my bike, but I think it's particularly with my bike and not with the Yamaha, it's that it's not well balanced. It tends to go a little bit to the left. I think it's because the weight of the bag here, and because unfortunately I made an accident which kind of bent the handlebars a little bit, so that might be it. The last problem with my bike is not really a problem, it's a pain in the ass, to be honest. It's kind of one thing that made me buy a new motorcycle. The problem is that the amount of vibration given to you in the hands and in the foot, it kills you. I mean, it's a pain in the ass to do any stretches of highway really with this bike. It's not something that I like to do. It's really not genuine. If you are not going to make long stretches of highway, no problem. If you're gonna take the highway every day, I would suggest you to get maybe the 1000 cc, which will have more power, so less revs. It will not rev as much in high speed, so you might not get all the vibration I have with this bike. I don't see any other problems or defects with this bike. I'm gonna talk about the pros of this bike now. Pro number one with this bike, it's that it doesn't have a chain. It doesn't have any maintenance on its transmission, because it's a shaft. So the only thing you have to do is every 30,000 kilometers, which is about 16,000 miles, you have to change the oil. But I mean, if you can't do that, then buy a motorcycle. My god, it works, It doesn't have any problem. It seems to be strong and all. Since you don't have to go off-road, it's a big plus to have a camshaft, to have a shaft. Another pro of this bike is that it's gearbox. I don't find any false neutral. The false neutral in this gearbox doesn't exist. It's easy to find the neutral, and in the second, third, fourth, five, there are no neutrals, false neutrals. It's really well done, and it's mostly smooth. Sometimes I hit some really hard first or some really hard second, but usually it's very smooth gearbox. I like it. Well, another thing that is important in this bike is that if you're looking for a Dragstar 650 or a Shadow 650, those are kind of different bike in a way that the Dragstar 650 is very long. So if I put myself on the bike, I look normal. If I were to buy a Honda Shadow 600, which I tried, I look small because the length of the two wheel, it's made so that it's made for taller riders. I am 6'5", 1 meter and 95 centimeters in European standard. So I look good on this motorcycle. I would probably look too big on the Shadow, but obviously this could be a con if you are a small rider. So it depends on how tall you are. And last thing I like about this bike is the forks and the spring. I traveled basically all Italy with this bike one time. I have my girlfriend here and me sitting here. I weigh 78 kilograms. My girlfriend weighs about 72, and we have 2 bags here, 1 bag here. I mean, the bike was really packed, and I didn't have any problems, to be honest, with the suspension. It's not like I bottom out. The only thing you have to do is put the preload to the max. The suspension in this bike just works perfectly. The fronts are good. I mean, maybe a little bit too soft. The front is a little bit too soft in my opinion. I would like a little bit more rigid, but the monoshock of the rear is perfect. So speaking of the future, what I'm gonna do with this bike, I'm gonna sell it and I'm gonna buy a new bike. It's going to be an adventure bike because I wanted to approach off-road, but I'll also need a bike that can go in a highway without air problem, wind problems. This bike has a lot of wind problems, a lot of vibration, and I didn't really wanna buy an adventure bike, but I finally found one that I really like. And this video will be my goodbye to my crude boy bike. I'm gonna drive it a little bit more, but I think by the end of June it's gotta go. If you live in Italy and you wanna buy it, you can contact me on Instagram. I'll put the tag here or here, I don't know. Now I'm gonna spend a minute talking about what I'm going to do this summer. This summer I have planned three trips. Yep. One is gonna probably at the 5 Terre, 5 Terre, call it how you want. It's near Genoa. It's one of those places that people tell me you have to see one time in life, at least once in your lifetime. And it's a really, and you know, it's one of those places where a lot of motorcycles go if they have time and money. Fortunately I have both for now. And then I'm gonna hit Pisa, Livorno. I'm gonna go along in a medium trip, a medium length trip. Then I plan this August or fanculo. Then I plan to go in Croatia, probably by August, maybe July, depends. And I'm gonna travel all Croatia and Slovenia too. And the last trip I'm probably going to Tuscany, but I'm still not sure. I could go into Switzerland again. I could go to Austria because I only visited the lower part of Austria, and I was thinking about maybe going to Vienna. Of course, if you have any suggestion or you wanna go on a trip with me, you are welcome. So you just contact me on Instagram or leave a comment below. I'm always active to any people who write me. This is the end of the video. If you liked it, please leave a like, subscribe. It will help me with my channel and to put more content. I know I've been missing for a while. I had the plan to bring a new video about my trip to the Garda Lake, but unfortunately I lost most of the footage, so I decided not to bring any. We will see, probably by June, maybe sooner, if I take a nice weekend out, which I'm probably gonna take by the May. We're gonna make a video about that one, maybe. Remember to follow me on Instagram, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.